Previously on Survivor Boston, after Elvis was blindsided, Moses was left in the dark.
It was a little bit surprising because I know there was some talking that I was completely cut off from.
However, he quickly obtained an advantage to help him change his position in the game. After the immunity challenge, it was clear two sides were forming. On one side, Moses, Peyton, Giselle, and Kate, the other having Sarah, Izzy, Lexi, and Toby, leaving Brian in the middle playing both sides. Brian created a plan to help make sure that he would be the only one deciding who was going home.
So then they sort of kind of like put my plan that I have pages in my notes of into action without me even having to do too much.
Kate sensed that Brian could be playing both sides and convinced her alliance to change their plan last minute. At Tribal Council, Lexi played her hidden immunity idol, blindsiding Kate and leaving the room bamboozled. 8 are left, who will be voted out tonight.
I admit I'm a little panicked. Myself, Giselle, and Peyton, and sort of Brian were in an alliance, and Kate was kind of the mastermind. And so now she's gone out of nowhere. We all threw our votes for Lexi, but she had a hidden immunity, and now we're just trying to find out what to do. We're a little desperate right now, but we're hanging in.
I'm so mad.
Because we could have used Moses' thing next week and we've been fine.
Kate,
We switched to Inferno together, and then we just remained tight when the merge happened. And I really thought that there was great potential for me, Kate, and Giselle to be the final three, just because of how numbers were looking. But obviously that's not gonna happen anymore. So just seeing her name, I was just crushed.
cause you, me, and Kate, we had we would have been the three.
Yeah.
We would have had the numbers on our side every single time.
That's what we need to convince Toby that we can bring him to the end.
Yeah. And okay, so we have to look at the game as a whole. So
I need to have immunity at the next challenge. I need to win immunity this week.
I think what we have to convince him of is that he won't get to the final three. He won't even have that chance unless he's with us. Because I think that's true.
I think so too. And also, the jury's gonna vote on who played the best game, I think.
Yeah.
Me, Peyton, and Kate were planning on getting to the top 3 anyways, so that sucked really bad. Now we're 4 strong, they're 4 strong. We still have a chance. And we're if there's any advantages, we'll go for it. If there's any, obviously we try to get immunity.
I know. But I feel at this point,
we just might as well try.
We might as well just try because Kate's gone. We're on the chopping block.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It sucks because I would love Moses to be our third, but
we need the number from the other side.
Person,
Yeah. I know. I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
I was feeling really uneasy, and people kept being no, you're fine, nothing's gonna happen. But then I just got really uneasy vibes, and people were being weird, so I played the idol, and I'm really glad I did because I definitely would have gone home. And it was kind of funny to see everybody's reactions. Giselle and Moses and Kate and Peyton were really, really rattled. And that kind of solidified, I guess, that Brian was definitely in our alliance.
We just caused the biggest plot twist of 2017 of all time.
Honestly, Kate was totally shocked. And now we have the numbers.
After she got voted off, it was kind of the sigh of relief. I made sure to sit next to Giselle, Kate, and Peyton, so that way they would be okay, this is a legitimate break in between the sides, so it's 5v4, and I wanted them to think that going into Tribal. And I did vote for Kate, and I stuck with the plan.
Brian has been the biggest schemer
my God.
the whole game.
Brian's been lying to you guys.
Brian has been lying to you this entire time. Sorry guys, he may be a nice guy, but
I'm such a nice guy in real life that now is my chance to just bring out those inner demons. Definitely.
Lexi played her idol, so I'm the only one in the game left with a hidden immunity idol. So I'm hoping to keep that, and if I make it to the final 5, then I'll be able to just use it to the final 5 and make it to the final 4.
You guys can come on in. Are you guys ready to get to today's immunity challenge?
Yes.
All right, first things first, Peyton, I will take it back. All right, once again, immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, we have 4 stations set up. At each station is a certain amount of objects. Your goal is to run to each station, count the number of objects, and get the total number of objects. First person to get the total number wins immunity and gets a 1 in 7 shot at winning this game. Losers, tribal council, or somebody will be voted out and will become the 3rd member of our jury. You guys are halfway through this.
What are
All right, 4 immunity. Survivors ready? Go. Giselle and Izzy coming back. Here we go. Izzy was putting a move on. Count your numbers, run back out, and do whatever y'all need to do, because we all were talking. Giselle and Izzy writing down their first numbers. Everybody hesitating. Let's see what they're gonna do here. Peyton back with her first one. Writing it down on her. Okay. Coming over to Giselle. Toby going back out. Everyone seems to be working together. Wow. We're an individual. Yeah, you're right. We're an individual game. We have people still working together. That's incredible.
What is Brian doing?
Moses running right past.
Tell me what Brian is doing.
Moses running back.
Yeah, just came back.
Toby, straight to me, I'm straight to.
Sarah back.
Adding the numbers together?
Yeah, you add them together.
Tell me, what was it?
We're adding the total numbers together? Yes.
No, it doesn't matter what item it was. It doesn't matter. Moses and Peyton back.
No, I don't know what you mean. Take my number.
I got it. Got it.
Lexi has 63. Lexi wins individual immunity.
Damn it. Happens.
Peyton's still going just for her own thrill, figuring it out.
68.
Thank you, Jacob.
Oh, sorry.
Lexi, come get immunity. Alright, Lexi, safe at tonight's tribal council. You have a 1 in 7 shot at winning this game. As for the rest of you, one of you will be the 8th person voted out of this game. One of you will be the 8th person voted out of this game. That will be decided today. So,
I know I have numbers on my side. I guarantee Peyton's going home. We should have voted her out first instead of Elvis, and that was a mistake that we made, so we need to like right our wrong right now just to make sure that we get our strongest player out.
I'm going home. Like we do the challenge, I like try really hard, but I don't. Not even someone in my alliance. I'm going home, and I'm really freaking pissed off. Like really angry because when we were about to start the challenge, we were all kind of talking together, and it was clear that Lexi and Sarah and Izzy were like kind of all saying like, you go to this one, you go to this one, you go to this one. And so I was like, okay, like Moses, Giselle, because I know like I can trust them. I was like, okay, we're gonna split up. And then I was like, Brian, do you want to do it with us? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, like let's split up, you go here. But then I look out and I see Brian just like running around to the different stations. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So he, I guess, just like didn't want to work with us because he obviously isn't like with us, like, which, I mean, honestly, it's a good move at this point on his part.
So on my side is myself, Giselle, Peyton, and Brian claims to be. He's a little wishy-washy. And after the challenge today, we know that he's not on our side. So it's really just 3 of us. We want to say that Brian has a hidden advantage and then get everybody to turn against him because he's very much floating in between sides, even from what Toby was saying in the last tribal council. And so we're going to get that idea flowing, that he's hiding something. And we want to meet up with Lexi and Sarah and Izzy and just kind of introduce the idea that Brian may be shifting sides, may have something hidden that he's not sharing with people, and then maybe they'll vote with him today, and maybe we'll live to see another day, because right now we're starting to break apart a little bit.
So after the challenge, Giselle messaged me, Lexi, and Izzy saying like, hey, we have info. Like, yeah, Brian's not trustworthy. He's been wishy-washy, and like we don't trust him. So like, would you guys be down to vote him off? Because like it wouldn't even be a disadvantage to you because you have 4 people and we have 3. So like we just want him out. Oh, and they were like, yeah, like he's gonna like scheme his way to the top. Like he's gonna like win.
Oh my god.
Because he's just scheming both sides. And I was like, yeah, like I really don't trust him like from the beginning. And basically I understand what they're doing because they're trying to save Peyton as much as possible. So they're making this thing about Brian, saying that he has like some sort of advantage and that he's not trustworthy, so that we all vote for Brian instead of Peyton. But we're gonna vote for Peyton because for all of our games, that's what we need to do. Because like I will remain loyal to my 5 until we get to the 5. Yeah.
No, I haven't told them anything. I've only met with them in groups.
Yeah.
Just to like try and persuade them to do things.
And Giselle said that you told her personally that you have an advantage.
That's insane, and I don't. First off, I don't. I ended up revealing to Lexi, Izzy, Toby, and Sarah that I have the hidden immunity idol. Because I don't want to keep secrets from them anymore now that it doesn't matter. And they know, everyone knows now on that side, that I'm a ticking time bomb. That if I leave this game with the idol in my back pocket, more are going to be thrown out. So then that has the opportunity for Peyton, Moses, or Giselle to get a hidden immunity idol, which means essentially that even if they wanted to vote me out, they know that I could play the idol, and then idols would just be released. Or if I go out with it in my pocket, then more idols will be released, and then Peyton could potentially get that hidden immunity idol and make it to the final 3. And I know that's not what they want. Oh my god, like what advantage could I possibly have, or when would I have gotten it? Like literally the only advantages in the game that they've given are ones where they're like, here's an advantage.
Yes, Brian is a strong player, but like I would also trust Brian to go with me to like a final 3 because then we only need to get 2 more out.
Right. Yeah, and then we'll get in final 5, and then that's all that matters.
Peyton is such a strong player and she's so smart that she would 100% win this game if we don't get her out right now.
Cool beans.
So we need her gone for hour 5 to thrive.
I want Brian out before it's final 5. As much as I like Brian, I do know that he has an immunity idol, and I think he's a very strong player. So, and like I like him a lot as a person, but he's just a threat.
Okay. So, Toby, we want you to join forces with us. And I know what you're thinking. Why should you do that? But like, if you are, we really think. We thought about this. We're like, okay, like, you know, like, what's the move here? And we really think that, like, if you want to make it to the top 3, it has to be with us.
Like, we're not saying like us as like a Moses and Brian. Like we're gonna use them to get there,
Like,
but like
us.
Us.
Okay, because if Toby could join our side and we could get him to, like, really, like, be strong, positive about that, I'm gonna try and see if we can vote Brian off, which like really like wouldn't do anything because we still wouldn't have the numbers, but at least it's another week that we could go and try and get immunity. We like why we thought of you is basically because like we like know like Lexi and Izzy, and like we like really think that like they would try and take Sarah to the top 3 before they would take you, and like I don't know, like
Also because I should bring up, Izzy was the one who brought up the
oh yeah, she was,
and she was lost. She was the one who was like, I think you, she like point. She was like, I think you were the. I was like, no, it was you. Like I.
Yeah, no.
I was just like, oh, that'd be cool. Like
yeah, I know, but sure, she was like, yeah, like I want to see a girl win.
Yeah, I think Peyton is definitely being targeted. Like it's because all of us see her as someone who could win.
Like once we get to the final 3, like I don't know what's gonna happen.
Obviously,
I haven't even thought about that. Like honestly, like what the jury's gonna look like if they would vote for me or not. But I just don't want to get voted out. I just want to make it to the final 3, and I know that I'm gonna get voted out today if I don't get someone on my side.
So Peyton and I knew that she's a target 1, and that we don't have another person to come to top 3 with us. So we thought Toby would be the best bet, and we met with him, and he heard us out, but like Toby gives me weird vibes.
It just seems like a risk I don't necessarily have to take.
You don't have Toby.
What?
So I would never be able to trust him, I feel like. So I don't know, but at the same time, like everything could change tonight. We're lying and saying that Brian has an advantage, and he told us, but he doesn't. Izzy and Sarah are saying they're down for Brian. My whole thing is like, afterwards, if Brian's like, I didn't have an advantage, like they're gonna be mad at us, but I don't really care at this point. It's just trying to get further.
Yeah, I guess if you have like someone on y'all's side, it would make sense for you to stay there. But I just honestly think that once so now that there's 2 sides, they're gonna like vote all of us out, and then you're gonna have to start voting each other out. And I think it's gonna be Sarah, Lexi, and Izzy.
Peyton and Giselle invited me over this morning, kind of as a desperate plea for help. Just like, well, if you want to be in the final 3, you need to join us. I feel like I'm the only one looking for jury votes at the moment, like kind of examining who would like me and who wouldn't. So
It should be you, and you should join us. But like, I don't know. I feel like you're not gonna do it.
Can I think about it?
Yeah, of course.
We're working some angles. We're gonna try to crack their little tribe in half, and then once they're separated, then once we're all on an even footing, then we want to move from there.
We're just really trying to try everything we can to like stay in this, us 3 another week, but because like if one of us goes, then it's just like Moses and Giselle, what are they gonna do? Like they're gonna get on their hands and knees and beg. Everyone's a snake. I wish I never trusted anyone. I wish I never played this game. Like I'm just so frustrated. It's over.
At this point, we already have the votes, and it's 5-3. So hopefully Peyton's gonna go home tonight. I think even though I'm gonna get more votes than I've ever gotten in a tribal, I think I'm the most confident going into this tribal.
every person I've written down has been voted out. I've been on the winning side of every single vote. I've not gotten on anyone's bad side. Yeah, I think I'm in a perfect spot right now. Izzy and Lexi and Sarah and Brian, and then Peyton and Giselle. That's advantageous for me because I can join either pair and make the final 3.
Alright, so at the last tribal council, Lexi, you had to play a hidden immunity idol, ultimately negating 4 votes against you. Is this group still as fractured as it was at the last tribal council?
I think that was unexpected on a lot of people's parts, and I think people are kind of scrambling because their game plan was screwed up by me having an immunity idol.
Whose game plan exactly?
I think it was people who were on the quote-unquote other alliance. Giselle, Moses, and Peyton, and Brian, possibly.
Possibly Brian.
I, much like Frankie Muniz, was stuck in the middle, like Malcolm. That was a bad joke. I know what's happening tonight. It's inevitable. But it's just a matter of seeing what happens, I guess.
So Giselle, at the immunity challenge, you guys were clearly working in different groups to try to figure out the number at the end. Are those the sides you're still working with now?
I mean, considering that Brian totally didn't tell us what he was doing and we had no chance of winning because of that, no.
So Brian, she basically just called you out saying Brian screwed us over in this challenge.
Oh yeah, no, I know what ended up happening. I got over to the sticks and then they're all on top of each other and then I got super flustered and then I just kept going on from there. But at this point, it's just everyone knows, and I know I haven't talked to anyone since the challenge, so.
So Izzy, Brian is clearly in this position where people are trusting him. Does that pose some sort of a threat to your own game?
I guess, when you are like in the middle, you're not really fully committed to one tribe. Each alliance that you're like in the middle between, they're gonna try to get you because like obviously it's safety numbers and they want votes.
So who feels safe tonight? The same question we ask every time. Raise your hand if you feel safe, other than Lexi. So we have the 4 people who were called out last time for working together all feeling safe, leaving Moses, Peyton, Giselle, and Brian. Moses, why don't you feel safe tonight?
I don't really feel safe just because I don't know where the alliances are right now. And I think at this point in the game, so much of it is kind of figuring out, like, okay, who do I trust right now? And then who can I trust going forward and how does that all work out? Because I think it's really no secret at this point that, like, we're not tribes anymore. Eventually, it's going to come down to individual, but what you do before that point is really all just kind of like, who's going to try and backstab you?
Do you have any feeling who might try to backstab you?
I'm going to pass on that one.
I don't really think that was a question. I'm going to let you pass.
Okay, well, if I'm dead honest, hi, Brian.
So Brian, once again, your name is brought up as someone who is working both sides, who is a backstabbing person. Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, it's at this point, it's an individual game, and you got to put your trust in whoever you want to put your trust in. And but once any sort of plan just like falls apart, then that's when that person's game gets foiled. But you just have to be that person that is like one step ahead or whatever, but apparently I'm not that.
All right, just
well, let me just say though, let me clarify. Love you, Brian. I've not declared who I'm voting for yet. That's just where my mind at this point in time. Thought process. Go.
All right, it is time to vote. Cannot vote for Lexi. Lexi, you're up.
Whatever happens, I know I'm feeling good, and regardless of how today goes, it's needed to happen.
You're a super strong player, so like you need to go. You almost won my trust, but not quite.
Hopefully this goes the way it should tonight.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do
No, I'm kidding, guys. That'd be funny, I wish.
Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. Peyton. Peyton. It's 2 votes, Peyton. Brian. 2 votes, Peyton. 1 vote, Brian. Brian. It's 2 votes, Brian. 2 votes, Peyton. Brian. It's 3 votes, Brian. 2 votes, Peyton. 3 votes left. Peyton.
Guys, what the?
This is how we spell her name.
No, but
That's 3 votes, Peyton. 3 votes, Brian. 2 votes left. Peyton. Last vote. 8th person voted out of Survivor Boston, and the 3rd member of our jury. The tribe has spoken.
I really wanted to be as honest as possible throughout this game, and I mean, I think in the end, that kind of, I don't know, it made me kind of oblivious to like the whole point of this game is to kind of be a snake, so, and I'm just, you know, disappointed that it ended so soon because I wanted to make it further, but, you know, it's the nature of the game, so it's kind of whatever, I guess.
So Peyton, real quick though, you can take a seat on the jury right now, because in the next 5 minutes, another one of you is going to be voted out.
We have plans.
Whoa. That's a twist.
We have a quick 5-minute immunity challenge. Lexi, I'll take back immunity.
Sure.
Thank you. This is a memory challenge. Don't we all love memory? I will show you a series of these pictures. Your job will be to memorize the series that I say. You will then show it back to me one at a time.
Like I just.
All right, first sequence. Chowder. Lee. Socks. Lee. Flag. City. Lee. Show me the 5th one.
Right now?
Brian, you're right. Put it down. Right. Right. Right, right, right. Put them all down. Lexi is incorrect.
I know,
Lexi's out of the challenge. All right, next order. Let's go. Lee. City. Lee. City. Lee. Flag. Socks. Lee. Train. Chowder. Flag. On my go, you will hold up the 6th option, for the 6th one. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sarah is incorrect. Sarah's out of the challenge. Izzy is incorrect. Izzy's out of the challenge. The correct answer was flag.
I have to be at the T at 2:30. Like, going.
Can you FaceTime me?
Yeah, she'll FaceTime me.
Alright.
You know who my vote is.
Izzy will still FaceTime me.
Alright.
Bye, Izzy.
We are down to Toby, Moses, Giselle, and Brian in this challenge.
Show me the 9th option.
Oh, wait.
4, 3, Toby, put it down. 2, 1, show. Giselle gets it wrong. The correct one was train. Brian, Toby, and Moses. Moving on. Show me the last one I said. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We do have a winner. Brian wins individual immunity. So Brian, come on over. Everyone can put the paper underneath their chairs. It was flagged.
Both of the last ones were closed.
If only you were still in it.
I'm just letting you know.
Brian, you're gonna follow Charlie out?
Oh, okay.
Whatever I do, it doesn't really make a difference, but...
Let's get this going. Keep my head up. And whatever happens, happens. But I'd say if I'm voted off right now, then they'll definitely be feeling that in the jury.
Alright, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now is the time to do so. Alright, I'll read the votes. Once votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. Sarah. One vote, Sarah. Sarah. It's 2 votes, Sarah. Moses. Moses. 2 votes, Moses. 2 votes, Sarah. Moses. 3 votes, Moses. 2 votes, Sarah. 9th person voted out, the 4th member of our jury. Moses. Bring them up. Moses, I'll let you keep the blue one.
Okay, that's gonna take a long time to untie.
Yeah.
You want to just dunk it.
The tribe has spoken.
Yeah.
Fine, Moses.
What's up, guys?
Love you, Moses.
Alright, you are now at 6 people left. It could still be anyone's game. Grab your stuff, head out.
Thank you.
Next time on Survivor Boston, Giselle hangs on by a thread,
Basically, I just saw my chances, like, go out the door.
but everyone's trust is up in the air.
Toby is someone that I think has played the game kind of like right in the middle.
I think I played the game pretty well. I really have no regrets. I think that everything happens the way it goes. Tribe spoken, really no bad blood. I'm just excited to see who moves forward, and maybe if I'll come back. So we'll see.
Sorry, Moses, but tonight you're part in the Red Sea.